Hello and welcome to Goal Line Gossip. We have a very exciting preview show for you today where we'll be talking about the North London Derby, Arsenal facing off with Spurs. I think it's at Emirates, right? So this is the first time Ange Postecoglou gets to face Arteta in the Premier League. So in any way, the North London derby is one of the hottest derbies like in the Premier League, and there's a lot of rivalry. But with the form that Tottenham Hotspurs are in currently, of course they beat Manchester United, and they got a last-minute couple of goals, I think, last week as well. They totally turned the game on its head, and they're doing really well. They've gotten some new players. Harry Kane is not there, but you can't tell because they are winning, getting the points on the board. So it will be a really interesting clash. As far as what I've read so far about this, it kind of seems like it's going to be a 50-50 sort of uh, like prediction in terms of who's going to win. Of course, it depends on who you're asking. If you're asking Arsenal Fan TV or DR Sports, it's a bit biased. But I think from a neutral point of view, doesn't seem like at least for me, it doesn't seem like the usual North London derby where the Spurs they travel to Emirates and you thinking let's get a draw or something. I think they can actually win, and that's just my perspective. But I would like to welcome our friends here. So we have Hotspur Ribhu, who's definitely a Spurs fan. Great to see you, man, after a long time.
Good to see
And we
you.
have the Jishmaester, Arsenal fan. Yeah, also in really good form, if I'm being honest. And yeah, it's got that famous jersey on. It's from the
40s.
1940s. Okay, so there you go. For fans who you don't know, that's a legendary jersey right there. So
We
yeah,
won, I think,
like
two league titles wearing this jersey.
okay, okay, all right. So what we're gonna do in today's show is start off with Hotspur review. So we want to understand how it is going for Tottenham overall in the Premier League. Of course, the points and the table they speak for themselves, and it's going really well. But in terms of the new manager, when we got to know there's this Australian manager coming from the Celtic League, there were some questions asked, and of course, like Harry Kane left as well. But 4 or 5 weeks later, you have the points on the board. The fans are buzzing in your home stadium, and everybody seems to like him. I think he won a Manager of the Month as well already. So, what is Ange Ball? Let's start with that. Give us a highlight of what it is and how you're feeling as a Tottenham fan.
Well, uh, I mean, if I can just explain in a couple of words, a breath of fresh air. That's all I can say. Um, yes, I mean, the couple of appointments that we had after Mauricio Pochettino, it was, all like appointments which were meant to be serial winners, but they didn't turn out great. I think Danny Levy in his recent interview just mentioned that there was appointments which were meant to define a certain sort of strategy which didn't work out that well. So I guess that's what we are not meant to be. So it's better to go back to our grassroots where we play some good, attractive football, some good, position-based football. That's what we are meant for. That's what Tottenham is about. And yes, we are playing that game. I'm really excited to see because the way we are progressing the game, the way we are building from the back. The signings that we have made this summer is awesome. I mean, each and every player that we have signed, are amazing, I would say, especially Destiny Udochi, James Madison. I would say he's a
Vicario.
signing of the summer. So these players are like
And
doing
Vicario as well.
exceptionally
Vicario is
well.
a very good goalkeeper.
Oh, well, absolutely. Yeah. So I mean, what I was saying is that the way we have approached the game, Harry Kane leaving the
Mhm.
team, lack of a proper striker. I think we have very well covered that. because it's not on a single person now scoring goals. It's like a collective responsibility. James Madison scoring, Dejan Kulusevski scoring, Son scoring a hat trick against Burnley. And even we are coming. We have up and coming signings like Mana Solomon. We have Brennan Johnson. So it's a huge thing up there, and obviously Richarlison, who is yet to score a goal, but I guess he's a very promising striker. I mean,
The promise. When is the promise
the
going to be
Didn't he
fulfilled?
score a goal against who were they playing? Were they playing Sheffield last weekend?
No, he hasn't scored a goal yet. No.
No, he
Really?
hasn't. Yes, he
He
has
assist. Oh,
actually.
he did. He did. He
He
did. Yeah.
ha he
He
has
assisted the
actually
goal.
in the stoppage time. It was a cross from Perisic, and he has. But yeah. So what I was saying is that he is yet to prove himself. I completely agree to that. But yeah. I mean, we are yet to see the best of Richarlison. That
Hmm.
work with the World Cup form that he had. But what I can say
And
is
the
that even if Richarlison
celebrations,
doesn't,
like the chicken
absolutely.
dance, and you want to see the chicken dance.
Well, the
What if he does the chicken dance in the Emirates at the Emirates after scoring?
well, I
That's
won't
a
mind. I
The
Yeah,
won't
fellow,
I don't think
mind
the
I will
fellow
as well.
Brazilian striker will, rule
doing
supreme.
a pro dance in front of the Arsenal fans. Oh my God, that's a sight. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he can
Anyway,
do that. He'll probably won't be allowed to go out of the stadium if he does the chicken dance. But anyways, like, what about Ribhu? What about the style of football? I get the fact that he has brought in some really good players and he's revitalized players like when you're looking at the likes of Bissouma or even Richarlison or even making Son play a different role. But what is the style do you think that is he's been implementing on the field and seems to be working? Is it different than what it was in the previous managers?
well, absolutely, absolutely. Because right now what we are doing is we are building from the back, and if you notice that we are currently using both our fullbacks as midfielders. Like it's very they are very narrow, and they are basically adding as a additional support in the midfield three with Bissouma. And man, Bissouma, what a player, man! I mean, he is the player who can really avoid press. I mean, he really reminds me of Musa Dembele. I must say. I mean, the way Musa Dembele used to play. I mean, if
Musa
Bissouma is that
Dembele's ball carrying ability was better, probably.
I agree that. I agree that, and I guess maybe Bissouma can improve that gradually. But the way he avoids the press, the way he evades the press away from him, it's amazing. I would say,
And
and
Pape Sarr is also a good.
that's what was coming. Pepe Matasar. I mean, wow, what a revelation! I mean, hats off to Paratici for just identifying that kid. At the age of 18. Destiny Udoji, man, what a signing! I mean, he is literally commanding that left hand side. Never allowing a single ball through him. He and Van de Ven is just absolute colossal at that left. So yes, I mean, as I was saying, so the strategy that we are right now using is kind of a strategy which is similar to a 2-3-5, but instead of using one of our fullbacks as a defensive line, we are using both the fullbacks in the midfield, and we are building from there. And obviously, we have the eights, that is Pape Matasar and James Madison through the half spaces, and obviously we have Mana Solomon and Dejan Kulusevski both at the right, always looking to cut in, and Son at the middle or Richarlison at the middle. So that's how we are looking at, and yes, it has worked pretty well. We are still struggling against low block teams. We have seen that against Sheffield United. Maybe that's something Ange has to work on. But yeah, teams against Manchester United, teams against Burnley, we just thrashed them. And speaking of Arsenal, I don't think Arsenal would play a low block because even they would look to press, and I guess looking at the press conference from Ange Postecoglou, what I can see is that he has said clearly that we are not going to change our playing strategy. We are going to play the way we are playing. So it's either so. I mean, I would be happy even if we lose because either we are going to thrash Arsenal or Arsenal is going to thrash us. We, as far as Spurs fans, have accepted that, and we are just going to enjoy the game. That's it.
So you don't care if you lose this match. I mean, you care, but then
Absolutely.
it's okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, if you play good football and we lose, we don't mind. But playing shit football and losing the game 1-0 or even winning 1-0 is something we don't want to have that. Winning it for
Okay.
3-4, 4-3 is something okay, still okay with us.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. In terms of Arsenal, like, what are your thoughts on that? Are you okay with the loss as well, as long as you play good, or do you have to beat Spurs?
Against Tottenham at the Emirates. No,
Yeah.
it's nothing other than 3 points. As I was mentioning to you while his connection dropped, since 2010, we have seen the worst Premier League teams of Arsenal ever. Nobody can deny that. We have seen some of the worst Arsenal squads and defensive lines and a team in general that the Premier League has ever seen from Arsenal, from the North London outfit. And the last time they beat us was in 2010. And we were literally at that point just selling off our best assets, whether it was a Cesc Fabregas or Samir Nasri or Gail Clichy or Robin van Persie a couple of years later. We were at our absolute low. That's when they beat us, and then it only got worse. We stopped finishing in the top four. I think there was, out of those 10 to 12 years, they finished above us for at least 6 or 7 seasons. So even during those pomp years where they finished second, where they were challenging for the title when we finished second, it was a two-horse race where we finished second. Can you imagine? Leicester City and Tottenham had a two-horse race in 2015-16, and who finished second? Arsenal. That was just a little bit of banter. But that aside, even during those years, those bad Emery years and the early Arteta years, late Wenger years, no, Spurs did not beat us. So at the Emirates, now when we're probably in the top 4 or 5 clubs in the world football, and I mean, in terms of, I'm not talking about results yet, we haven't won a trophy yet, but in terms of the playing style, the dominance on the pitch, and the quality of the players and the future that we hold, we are definitely on the high right now. This team at the Emirates, I don't think there's a chance. And going back to what Hotspur Ribhu was saying about his team accepting a defeat and they'll be happy as long as the playing style is good. That is what Tottenham has always been about. They've been all about, the Rafa van der Vaarts and Luka Modric's and Gareth Bale's and the likes of these beautiful, footy players playing good football. Not coming up with top four, it really didn't matter as long as they produced great football at the White Hart Lane. Right now, it's not White Hart Lane, but it's the toilet bowl. But it is still, that's what Spurs fans want. They want to see good quality football, and that's what they're doing. I'm not going to deny it. If you look at our chat for the Goal Line Gossip and on WhatsApp, right after the first game week, I said Tottenham is going under the radar. Absolutely, after the first game week. It's because when I saw them play football, it made me feel like they're playing, non-pragmatic football. They're playing with, full belief. They don't have, a looming, cloud of hurricane on top of them. Where they are lacking, I will certainly mention, is that they do have a couple of good center backs now. Romero is, I think he's really good. The Van Hickey guy, I think that's his name. Am I pronouncing it
Van
wrong?
de Ven.
Van der Ven, and he was targeted by Liverpool as well, and we know what Liverpool did in the transfer window with the defense line, nothing. But this guy came to Spurs. They bought the Italian left back Udogi. They revived, the form of Yves Bissouma, who was going to be the next, Moises Caicedo, who now we know how much he went for. The Papis Matissar, this guy is a revelation as well. I see that I really like Manor Solomon, who used to play for Fulham, I believe, the last season, and he has a lot of potential. James Madison, Saul, you and I, we've debated on this, on him and Grealish, and I used to say I think Madison is the better player. He just has injury issues, and we would argue about it so much. But I think finally, Madison has gotten to play. He's getting to play in a good team, and I think he should be England's number 10. I know Jude Bellingham's now playing there, and he's colossal, really, honestly speaking. He's been good, but I still feel like, he could do better in a box-to-box role, and Madison playing at number 10 behind Kane, Rashford, and Saka. So that's Madison. The only place where I think they're a little bit, not super strong. Pedro Porro is decent too. He's not bad. I think the striker position. I see, for example, because we're not going to be playing a low block, Son is going to start. this weekend. Well, tomorrow as the starting striker. It's not going to be Richarlison. I'm pretty certain. Um, Richarlison, I think, is not going to cut it. I think is not meant for a team like Tottenham or a big team, if I may say so. He requires a different style of football, which that creates a lot of chances inside the D box where the striker does not have to work really hard. But in this Spurs team, in the previous Spurs team under Conte, he had to sit deep. So obviously there was not enough chances inside the box. Right now he has to sit deep. Well, not sit deep, but he has to come in deep and work the ball, the actions, the gameplay to be involved in the game way more. So I don't see him scoring a lot of goals. If I'm being completely honest, I have bigger hopes pinned on Brennan Johnson. Really love that guy. This is going to take some time. I think this season is going to be transitionary for them. But all in all, I don't see them winning this time around against us tomorrow. It's not confidence, it's not overconfidence. If they do, I'll be, really flabbergasted. I'll be like, something, amazing
Arteta
is
out.
happening there. No, I
Will
wouldn't
be
be
out.
Arteta out. I mean, if I see that he's again, tinkering with the left back and right back, which he has stopped doing for the past 3 games. Zinchenko and Ben White are back, and Gabriel and Saliba are playing. And but going back to Arsenal, I don't think we started the season off really well. The first few games, even the preseason games, I didn't feel like I was not confident. I'm pretty sure I've spoken about us in a few shows as well. But I think we are finally getting into gear. We were probably just warming up. We were not even red hot when preseason was there. Now we still haven't reached white hot. We are right now around. We're getting red hot, but you know what white hot is like. It's we haven't reached a top gear yet. I'm pretty certain. Players like Gabby Jesus just came back. He looks like he has come back a better player since this new injury. Saka is finally clicking into gear. Martinelli unfortunately got injured, and I think he'll be.
What about Kai Havertz? Is he
Okay, I'll get
blending
there.
in or
I'll come there. I'll get to that point. Gabriel Martinelli was playing really well, but unfortunately, he's going to be missing the North London derby. But what a replacement we have in him! I've been hearing Chelsea fans saying, "Can we trade your first choice left winger purchase for Leandro Trossard?" No, we do not want Mikhailo Modric. We're happy with Leandro Trossard. What a purchase he's been! So he's so good and he's criminally underrated even under Arteta. He does not get to start. If it was up to me, I would not start Kai Havertz. I think he needs to, learn the game better at Arsenal and, increase his levels before he gets to start for this team. I think Trossard should be playing in the number 8 role, the box to box number 8 role, non-defensive box to number 8 role, and Martinelli should be starting left wing. Even if Martinelli is injured, Reece Nelson should be playing, left wing, or Emil Smith Rowe. I just don't see. I think Kai Havertz is one guy who's just not letting us click properly. Thomas Partey is injured. He's going to be missing the game as well. We do have a lot of depth, so I mean, Declan Rice can play in that position, and what a season he's already having. He's been voted the Player of the Month for Arsenal already. A defense like Saliba looks like he's even better than last year. I don't know how does that happen, but he looks like a Rolls Royce of a defender. We absolutely demolished, PSV in the Champions League. I'm not sure if you watched the game or not. At least if you could catch the highlights, that was the first game this season where we truly were on song, and I hope we can keep that going this match. And I still don't think we're better than City this season. I still think that if we keep this good form going now, that we've just clicked into the past couple of games, I do see us finishing second. I certainly do. I will change my predictions of not finishing the top 4 and switch it to the second position if we can now keep this going.
flip flop every week?
Well, it's not every week. I change every 3 to 4 weeks, and if I have evidence, I got to change my stance, right? I mean, who shouldn't? If tomorrow I present you with
Yeah,
some
but
new
it's like
evidence.
it's ridiculous. It's from outside of top 4 to second. It's like
Well, that's because
extremes.
the way we started, we were looking really bad and sluggish. And please don't forget, Arteta was playing, not playing Zinchenko at left back. He took out Gabriel from this first team. He was playing Ben White at center back. So there were a lot of things that were different. So based on that analysis, I said that I don't see Arsenal finishing in the top four. But now things have changed. Things are going, we have gone back to parity and we're playing our favorite back four. We are now starting David Raya over Ramsdale, which is extremely unfortunate. The lad has been really good for us, for the past couple of seasons, and he brought us where we are. He has had equal contribution, amazing saves. Who I'm talking about right now is Ramsdale. Unfortunately, Raya is a better ball player, and I think Arteta wants somebody who's extremely comfortable with his feet, and Raya is probably one of the best in the world with his feet. So hence he's playing him, and I think he's going to be starting at the North London Derby as well. Although Ramsdale knows what it feels like to be in a heated North London Derby game, and he might be favored, but I still have a feeling Raya is going to start. As far as the Champions League is concerned, I think that we can pretty well go far. I definitely see a semi-final fixture on the horizon. We'll see. That's just because I've seen Bayern Munich play, and I don't think they're the best. Neither is PSG, and Liverpool isn't in the Champions League this year. So who do I have to fear? Real Madrid and Manchester City, of course. These are the two
Sevilla
teams.
and Sevilla. They're
Well, again, if we
they're
cannot
impeccable.
compete, with the likes of Barcelona, Sevilla, AC Milan, Inter Milan, Borussia Dortmund, Newcastle United, Manchester United, I think Arsenal is definitely in that same level. If anything, we are a little bit above, higher in the curve in terms of preparation and playing together as a team. Out of all the teams that I mentioned, hence Real Madrid and Manchester City are the only teams in my headspace that I think that are definitely miles better than us. So we'll see. So I
Right.
have big expectations about the season as far as this next game is concerned. I've already told you. I'm pretty sure we're winning. I'll pass this on to Saul. You asked the questions today.
Okay. So you seem very confident, a bit too
Oh
confident, I
wow,
think.
Spurs and
You
Emirates.
think you drifted from the North London derby to
Even
talking
if our
about
first 11 that
Arteta Champions League. It doesn't seem
we're
like
going to be talking about the first 11 very soon, right? The predicted first 11. Even if
right.
that predicted first 11 does not start, I will still be confident of beating Spurs at Emirates.
What with like Thomas Partey left back or right back?
I'm saying that the predicted 11 that I'm going to be giving you guys now
Right.
soon,
Yeah.
even if that 11 does not play, our second reserve 11 can beat Tottenham at the Emirates. Our fans are going to eat they're going to have chicken stew for lunch tomorrow.
Ribhu, any comeback for that? You seem to be like playing Ange ball here, like just soaking it in and waiting for the match results.
Well, I'll just wait for the match to end. Maybe then I can have my answer.
Are you going to show up on the show tomorrow, even if it's super late, even if it's for 5 minutes?
I'll try to be there if that's possible.
I mean, if they're beating you, he'll definitely show up. I can tell you that.
Of course he will. I was saying, even
One
if
hundred
you,
percent.
whatever the result is, show yourself for 5 minutes. Don't be a typical
I'll.
Spurs fan. Be a
It's
man
not
of your
about being
word.
a.
You said you'll be happy if even if you guys lose, as long as you guys play good football. So as
Well,
long as you guys
absolutely.
see if you guys
It's
play
not
good
about.
football, show your
Yeah.
Spursy face tomorrow for 5 minutes. That's all I'm asking.
Well, absolutely. I'll try my best. As I said, I mean, I have my commitments, but yeah, I'll try my best, definitely.
Okay,
Sure.
we're good.
Well done. So we won't go through the whole lineup because I mean it can be a little
But
like
I just want to say one thing here
yeah.
because like if we speaking about Arsenal as a team, yes, they are a very good team. I would say. I mean, definitely no doubt about it. But one thing which I have seen is that this season they have started, not just started, but they're playing each and every game with a little bit of control, or
100.
with a little bit of uh, mm, uh, with a little bit of pedal on
Cautiously.
the brakes, just a little bit of caution. I mean, because they're not going that full fledged out, or playing full a complete free flowing football. I don't know what's the reason. Speaking of Champions League, to what Jishmaester just said, it's PSG, man. I mean, you cannot just compare with PSG even with Burnley. So
What?
it's yes, yes, I mean it. So
It's
so
PSV
it's
man, not
PSG has been
PSG.
undefeated in 26 games
you
till we
cannot
beat them.
you cannot, man. Come on. PSV, even Sheffield United can beat PSV at any day. I will, yes. Okay, so I don't rate PSV. I mean, teams like PSV, I even okay. I can say about Ajax, but PSV, Feyenoord, and all these teams, they cannot thrive in Premier League. Come on, you cannot compare that. But anyway, it's a topic for a different discussion. But what I can say is that even if Arsenal win the game, okay, they are not going to win convincingly. That's all I can say. But it's a big if, that if Arsenal is going to win, I have my high hopes on Spurs and the way they are going to play. So yeah, all that matters is the battle that is going to be, and I think it will be a fantastic battle.
Okay. So we'll move on to this section where, sorry, maybe this one. So just talk about like a couple of players, like an MVP sorts that you think would be crucial for this game. So I'll start off with Jishmaester, the Jishmaester. Wow, what's wrong with me? Jishmaester. Hello.
No, I'm
Would
I am definitely the Jishmaester. So the
right.
start of the match for Arsenal, I don't know who to choose, but I think when come at the hour, come at the man, sort of a thing. I think Bukayo Saka is gonna, definitely stand up. Um,
You guys put him under a lot of pressure. Like before every big match, you're like, Bukayo Saka needs to play well. Bukayo Saka needs to score goals. But I mean, it's just let him be. I think
Listen,
he
there
does
are
it.
players who, I don't need to put any pressure on. For example, the start of the season for me from an attacking front till now has been Martin Odegaard. He just put pen to paper yesterday for a new contract. That completes the set. The players that we wanted to retain have all now been retained. There's nobody else left in the entire squad. So, the start of the show, yet tomorrow, there's going to be many of them, I'm certain. But I feel like it's going to be Bukayo Saka and Martin Odegaard.
Okay, fair enough. What about you, Ribhu?
Well, if I speak for Arsenal, I would say the star of the match would be William Saliba, because he has to make a lot of defending. Anyway, so yeah,
Fair
for
enough.
for Spurs, I would say the start of the match, it
Human Son.
can be Wiz Bissouma or it can be James Maddison.
Okay, fair
If
enough.
you guys, if you guys are going to win, trust me, I think it's going to be Human Son. You're going to have a lot of acres of space behind our back line. You get that guy through, he's scoring. We know that, and he has been a thorn just like Harry Kane. He's been a thorn to us for sure, Human Son, and I think he's going to start and he's going to try and make those runs, diagonal runs, and if he gets in, he's pretty much scoring. But that's if I had to choose a Spurs player that I would be wary of, that'd be him.
Well, I
Right.
guess you have seen the pass from Pedro Porro against Burnley, so I guess we can get pretty simple similar passes against Arsenal as well. Not just
Burnley's
from Pedro
defense
Porro,
defense
but
is not comprised of Gabriel, Ben White, Zinchenko, and William freaking
doesn't
Saliba.
matter. As long as you have the pace of Song Heung-min, no one can beat him. So yeah, that's
We
how
shall
it's going
see.
to be.
Fair
We
enough.
shall
Fair
see.
enough. I think I'm just gonna go with Richarlison as the MVP because I just want to see that dance in the Emirates.
He's
But
not
that's
even
just
going to
me.
start tomorrow. Take it from me. He won't start.
Well, he can come off the bench and score. You
That's
never know. But yeah. Okay. So
Yeah,
final topic
a 90-minute winner from Richarlison, that would be amazing.
and the dance. The dance needs to happen.
One
That's the
Human
one
thing.
Son.
one 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 up to
And I want to
1-1
see
after
Ange do
80
that as well. I
minutes.
don't think if Ange is going to do it, but
He is
anyways,
he's not going to do. He's going to
he
sort the
seems
back four.
yeah he seems pretty serious like on the pitch. So I don't know. We'll
He
see.
means
Uh,
businessman.
I love that guy
yep.
though. I mean, all jokes apart, I love Ange Postecoglou. I really like the guy. His demeanor, the way he talks, the way he presents himself, the way he talks about the fans, the club, the
He's
players.
a leading example, I would say. He's a leading example of a
Absolutely,
pure
he's an
manager.
amazing manager. Amazing manager.
Plus, he's Australian. Like the accent, like you don't have a lot of those in the Premier League, right? In terms of
We haven't
An,
had
managers.
any.
So that's
an
kind of nice
Australian
as well.
accent, an Australian accent with a Greek mindset.
Okay, okay. These are the things that we don't get to know. Like it's good to finally talk to a Tottenham fan. Like this is what
Well,
is going on. That's very
he's born
positive.
in Greece. He's
Yeah, yeah,
born in
Oh,
Greece,
he's
so
a
of course.
his last name suggests so. Postecoglou, right?
Yep.
yeah.
So we'll move on to the score prediction, and we'll start off with Arsenal. What do you think? So of course you're going to win. That was your prediction, but what's going to be the scoreline?
I think it's gonna be a solid 4-1.
4-1. Wow, that's a huge scoreline. Okay, fair enough. Ribhu,
I would go with 2-1 Spurs. Let's be
2-1.
humble
Okay,
here.
a more conservative 4-1, I guess. Okay.
Well, they're
Yeah.
away. I mean, even if listen, if this fixture happens at the Hotspur Stadium, I would probably say, right now, let's say tomorrow the match gets rescheduled to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I'll be honest with you, I'll probably predict, a 1-1 or 2-1 to Tottenham. That's what I would
Okay.
predict.
Hmm.
Listen,
Okay.
I'm not going to be biased, but Emirates, nah. Listen, as I said, our red and white are going to eat up their lily whites.
Oh.
The Arsenal fans needs to be humbled, big time. But anyway, it's only the match
Love to
that
see
needs to
that.
be only the match that needs to
We'll
be
see.
done.
We shall see.
Right. Okay. Okay. All right. So thank you so much for your time, and this was great to catch up for the preview. Big match tomorrow. We'll all be tuning in, and hopefully, like we get to like circle back for even if it's for a short while, just to talk about the match. And all I think is it's going to be entertaining. Again, like I'm from a neutral point of view, so I don't really care. My match starts at 12 today
What is your score
against
prediction?
Burley.
What is
Uh,
your
I think it's going to be a 2-2 draw in a thrilling 2-2 draw. I don't mean like, all the four goals come in first half and the second half is planned or something. I'm saying the second half is going to be like, an end to end sort of display of both of the teams like going for it. And ultimately, it's going to be a stalemate,
We
which
shall see.
is
I
fine.
will show my face no matter what the result tomorrow for sure.
Okay.
I want to make sure that Hotspur Ribhu, even if it's for just 2 minutes, just to come in and soak it in. Whether it's an amazing with a huge smile, or maybe whatever fate has for you. I would like to see your face.
Fate. Okay. All right.
Definitely.
Cool. Okay, so yeah, that's it for the show. Thank you for watching this show. Please put a comment in terms of what is your score prediction and who do you think is going to win, and like and subscribe our channels, and we'll see you on the next one.
Please do.
Please do.
Thank you for watching that video. We are a community of passionate football fans, and we post weekly videos on transfer news, match reactions, tactical analysis, and sometimes just gossip on the most exciting sport in the world. If that's what you like to hear, then hit that subscribe button and join the conversation with us.